You're back on Northwestern Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. You know, we've got a real problem as hunters in our community, and that big problem is the fact that we need to recruit new hunters to replace those of us who are aging out. Hunter numbers are declining, and that's the main reason why. We're not recruiting the new hunters. Now, a lot of people are working on this, and a lot of local organizations are too. One such organization that is doing something about this is the Wenatchee Sportsmen Association, located in Central Washington. They're putting on, again, a North Central Washington Youth Hunting and Fishing Day. It's going to take place at the North Central Washington Gun Club in East Wenatchee, September 29th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it's absolutely free for any kid who wants to attend. With us here to tell us more about it is Keith Boyd, the Vice President for the Wenatchee Sportsmen Association. Keith, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, John. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about the upcoming event.
Again, I think it's great that Wenatchee Sportsmen Association is doing this. This is the third year, isn't it?
It's the third year, yes. And last year we had almost 300 kids show up to the event. We were just overwhelmed at how positive it was, and we hope to do the same thing this year.
Well, let's go ahead and tell folks exactly what's going on. Again, it's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., September 29th, North Central Washington Gun Club in East Wenatchee. When the kids show up, what are they going to find there?
Well, the first thing they do is they'll check in, and we've got a really nice cinch backpack for them when they check in, and it will be stuffed full of some fishing and hunting things, information flyers, and they'll also receive a passport, which they will go around and get stamped during the event, and then if they get their whole passport filled out, they'll have an opportunity to win a grand prize for having their passport all stamped. So, yeah, it's a good, fun event for the kids.
Well, I'm intrigued. What is the grand prize for one of these kids?
We're still working on that, but last year we gave a youth archery package to the grand prize winner. So that's what we're hoping for this year, too.
Speaking of archery and speaking of other things related to hunting, you've got some target shooting going on here, and I know that's a huge draw for this event.
Yeah, and Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife is really, they do a great job. They bring in their hunter education people, and the kids have the opportunity to shoot 22s, 223s, 20-gauge shotguns. You know, they're shooting those at trap, and then we also have an archery station available for the kids. And so, you know, the kids just love that part of it, and everything else just kind of works around all the target shooting that they get to do.
Now, I know there's some parents out there that may not have any experience with firearms, and therefore their kids don't either. And they're thinking, is this safe for my kid to go out there and shoot a 223 or a 22 or, you know, let an arrow fly down range?
Yeah, that's, once again, the hunter education people are the ones behind this through the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and it's a very safe activity. Their expertise is they're one-on-one with the kids, and it's an opportunity for them to where maybe they wouldn't, you know, ever be introduced to something like this. It's a safe opportunity for them to handle a 22 or a 223, and like I said earlier, the kids just enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely. I know I did when I was a kid. I know my kids have enjoyed it, and I have no doubt these kids will too. Let's talk about some of the other things going on. I see Ducks Unlimited is going to have some duck calling lessons and give kids the opportunity to paint a decoy. Do they get to take it home when they're done?
I'm not sure about that, but we're really happy to have Ducks Unlimited at the event this year. We've got all kinds of different activities for kids as far as there's art activities. The Fish and Wildlife will have a booth there. We have the United States Forest Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and there's just a whole list. We've got approximately 25 different areas for the kids to go to learn about not only hunting and fishing, but just outdoor conservation efforts that are going on in our region, specifically about salmon and the Columbia River.
Well, it's no secret that hunters and anglers anglers are true conservationists, so it's great to see all these stakeholders involved. You know, something like this, though, I mean, when you're going to get 200, 300 kids, and you got to have ammo, you've got to have a lot of manpower, and you've got to have some money. If you don't mind me asking, who's shelling out money to put this together?
Well, primarily, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is just a huge part of this. We, this year, received a $2,000 grant from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the local Clockham chapter, and they'll be there as well. The kids love their learning station that they have set up where they talk about elk and conservation. And the Elk Foundation, we just couldn't do it without them. Their local chapter gave us $2,000 this year.
Well, that's fantastic, and that's certainly going to help. Again, folks, we are talking about the North Central Washington Youth Hunting and Fishing Day, absolutely free for any kid to attend, September 29th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the North Central Washington Gun Club in East Wenatchee. Very briefly, let's talk about the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association, too, and what your organization does, because we're going to talk about your group here in Central Washington, but there's a lot of sportsmen's associations all over the Northwest, and I suspect they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, our club primarily, well, we do a lot of things in this region, but the main thing that our club has been doing for years around here is just habitat restoration and conservation, working on ways to improve habitat for the local wildlife in our area. Our club has a number of dedicated volunteers, and of course we're always looking for new membership. We especially would like to encourage young people that are interested in the outdoors and conservation to join our club. We have two primary things that we do during the year with our game feed and now with the Youth Hunting and Fishing Day. And then along with that, we go out and we work on water systems for wildlife, and also we will work on feeding operations for wildlife during the winter time. And so we're very busy in the outdoors locally.
And you've done some great work, whether it be for quail and chukar, whether it be for mule deer, or whether it be for bighorn sheep. And let's not forget the signature project that the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association helped accomplish, and that was to put that fencing along Highway 97A, which really cut down on the mortality of bighorn sheep that were wandering down to the highway. So your group's doing great work. Lots of other sportsmen's associations out there, too. I would encourage you to join one near you. And if you live in Central Washington, consider joining the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association. But even if you don't, bring your kid, bring your grandkid, bring your neighbor's kid to the North Central Washington Youth Hunting and Fishing Day. It's absolutely free. The kids are going to have a great time. They're going to get all sorts of goodies. The date again, September 29th. The time, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the location, the North Central Washington Gun Club in East Wenatchee. Keith, thanks for telling us about this today on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Cast and blast your way across eastern Washington's Columbia Basin this fall with guide Shelby Ross. Shelby is an expert when it comes to walleye and bass in Potholes Reservoir, Moses Lake, and Banks Lake. Shelby can also take you out on a field hunt for geese or out for a morning of duck hunting and a lunch of kebabs. Trust me, you'll love it. Can't decide whether to cast or blast? Go on a combo trip. Book now at potholesfishing.com or ducktaxi.com. That's potholesfishing or ducktaxi.com. Go fishing, help salmon, and make money. You can do it from May 1st through September 30th by catching northern pike minnow and turning them in for cash. Here's how it works. First, register at a designated station on the Columbia or Snake River. Then, go fishing. At the end of the day, turn in any pike minnow you catch 9 inches or longer and look for the ones with tags worth $500. You'll get vouchers for those pike minnow you turn in, and you mail those in for cash. Find out more at pikeminnow.org.